Hello, this is a short sequence for opening up the hips and bringing a little bit of relaxation and like lowering any kind of tension that might be bubbling up in the body. If you happen to have a block, that's a great thing to have. We will use it for a little bit of hip extension toward the end. If you don't have a block, that's fine. Grab a couple kind of firmer blankets or one firmer pillow, and we'll use that instead. When you've got your supplies, meet me. You do not need anything else. You don't need a yoga mat. No other equipment needed. You don't need a cat, but it's sometimes kind of nice to have some animals nearby for a little bit of their just energetic support. Anyhow, bring the soles of the feet together. We're starting in butterfly, but we'll start upright. So grasp hold of your ankles or your shins, and then lift the chest as if you could lift the chest through the arms. Your chin can stay level, so you get a little stretch in the shoulders there. Take a couple breaths right here. Let's go ahead and look over the right shoulder and over the left shoulder. Look over each shoulder a couple more times, kind of an exaggerated no. So as much as we're focusing on opening up the hips, we want to let go of tension in other places in the body. So another place where it's really common to find tension is the shoulders, the neck, or the jaw. As you move through these stretches today, just make a little note if you're finding tension in those areas. You can soften. Come to the center. Let's do a couple nods up and down, opening up the throat. Starting to take some bigger, more conscious breaths, maybe closing the eyes and just feeling through this movement. Take one more good stretch of the chin up, tilt it up, and then tuck the chin down. Start to pull the chest forward. You might choose to walk the hands forward. You can keep the hands somewhere on the feet. My absolute favorite thing to do in butterfly is to give my feet a little massage. Another place where tension can show up. And we'll hold the stretches once we land in them anywhere from 30 to 90 seconds. This one, let's aim for 60 seconds, so a full minute. Already 10 seconds in, just let yourself melt. I will keep track of the time. We're here for 45 more seconds. And see if you can send your breath into the back of your shoulders, finding some space around the back of your ribs. Take one more nice long cycle of breath. Anytime you want, you can open your mouth for your exhale, clearing out a little bit of extra tension perhaps. And then start to walk the hands back, lift the chest up. Use your hands outside your knees to guide the knees forward. Bring your hands back behind you, and then we'll just waggle the knees gently side to side. You might be moving through a smaller or a bigger range of motion than I am. Whatever feels good intuitively in your body is probably feeling good intuitively in your body for a reason. We're going to take half pigeon next. We'll start on hands and knees. So meet me with your shoulders over your wrists and your knees underneath your hips. Shift the weight to your palms and to your left knee so that you can slide your right knee and shin forward, and then lengthen out back through your left leg. Walk the fingertips back so that you can find a nice lift through the chest for a couple of breaths. And as you lift through the chest, really drag back through your left leg, back behind you. So we're opening up the front of the left hip and the inside and outside of the right hip. When you're ready, you can start to walk the hands forward. You might stop on your forearms. We want to find a natural end point for the body. You may also make a little pillow by stacking the hands and dropping your forehead. Or you might reach the fingertips long out in front of you. I've got a little wall here. And drop the forehead all the way down. So wherever you choose to land, settle in there.
And see if you can bring your breath with you. Just following the inhales, the path that they take in through the nose. And then following your exhales. Without forcing it, see if you can lengthen your breath just a little bit. And smooth across the forehead, softening the place between your eyebrows. Take 2 more cycles of breath here. Your second exhale, start to walk the hands back underneath the shoulders, pressing into the hands to lift the chest up. Shift your weight to your right hip. Milo's kind of in the way here. And then bring your left leg around in front of you. Stretch the legs out. You do not need to straighten the knees, but it might feel good to. And then just toggle the feet side to side, or if the feet are down, toggle the knees side to side. Might feel good to kind of shake out through the thighs a bit. And then we're going to find half pigeon on the left. You can come back to hands and knees if you'd like, or just slide your right leg back behind you. I'll come to hands and knees. Sometimes it's just a little bit more of a neutral setup. Bringing your left knee forward, stretch back through your right leg, stretch back through your right foot even. And then keep the fingers tented. Take a little bit of a back bend for a couple breaths here. Notice how the low back feels. Can you find a little space, even if that means you've got to walk the fingers forward? And then eventually start to walk the arms forward, resting at a natural end range for your body. So we're not pushing. Once you find a spot that you feel like you can settle in for a minute, allow yourself to do just that. And bring your awareness to places in your body where you feel the sensation of the stretch. It's totally normal if there's places that feel pretty tight. If you have any pain in the knees, we want to back off. Just notice as you give your body time in a stretch that's in that sweet spot, that range of motion, or that level of mobility that your body has the capacity for, that maybe needs to relax a little bit into it. And then give yourself time to do just that. Take one more full breath here. Letting go with the exhale. And then walking the hands under the shoulders to lift up. Bring your right leg back around in front of you. And then this time, walk the feet a little wider apart. Drop the knees as far as you can to the right. And then as far as you can to the left. Internal and external rotation happening here. You feel the thigh moving really smooth, or a little snap, crackle, pop if you're someone with my joints. From here, we're going to grab that block or your set of blankets or pillows, roll down onto your spine, bend your knees, press the feet down, lift your hips, and then slide the block or the blankets underneath your sacrum, underneath your butt, really. You can bring your hands anywhere onto the thighs or the front of the hips that feels right. This might be a great place for you to stay. For me, I would want to angle my block up a bit so I get more of that stretch, that extension. Really just want to listen to your body here. A couple other variations are to stretch the legs out in front of you, maybe separate the feet a bit or a lot. Another variation is to bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees part, kind of like we did at the beginning for our butterfly that we had folded forward over the legs. Choosing one of these options. For me, this is feeling really juicy in the inner thighs and outer hips today. And in fact, actually changed my mind. That's feeling like a little too much. So I'm going to come back to this variation. And know that you can do that at any point. We'll be here for 90 seconds. Breathe into the low belly. Notice if there's any holding happening through the hips that you might be able to unload into that block or blanket or pillow underneath you. The last 20 seconds. Maybe letting those exhales cultivate even more of a sense of heaviness, letting the lower back release, letting the shoulders release, the back of the head. And then if you moved your legs into one of those other variations, slide your feet back down underneath your knees. And then press down through the feet so that you can lift the hips, slowly lower your pelvis back down. Cactus the arms out or tee the arms out as you windshield wiper your knees. One more time here, side to side. It might feel good to add a little bit of a deeper twist. As you drop the knees to the right, that left leg could stretch out to the right and vice versa. So just kind of like a final rinse cycle for the hips. Option at this point to find Shavasana for a few breaths, to lie on your back, to let the eyes close, to let the body melt into the floor, the surface beneath you. Option 2 is to come up to a seat wherever you landed, wherever you choose to close your stretch session. We'll take a few conscious breaths, inhaling a lot of appreciation for your body and for the choice that you made to add some stretching into your routine today. Exhaling to let go of any lingering tension or tightness. 2 more full breaths, breathing down into the low belly and the lower back. Exhale, letting go of any holding in the shoulders, the neck, the jaw. One more big cleansing breath here. If you're on your back, you can sweep your arms up over your head. If you're seated, reach the arms up overhead. And then open mouth, exhale, let it go. Thanks for moving your body a bit. Let me know how this felt. If there's any other stretch sessions, any other body areas that we want to give a little extra attention to, let me know and I will get one of those videos going. Take good care of yourself. Hope to see you soon.